Welcome back to Bronze League Heroes. In the top right, it is Shadow. Shadow. And in the bottom left, his long-lost brother. But after the accident, they had to part ways, and they've never spoken again. It's Kobra. As a Protoss. Got something in my eye. Maybe I'm just allergic to all these heroes and their amazing plays. Yeah. I don't need to see this. This isn't important. Are there important things happening? And yes, the allergies affect my eyes, apparently. I've got a depot queued up. Let's see how these builds shake out. A Nexus, a relatively standard match so far. No orbital yet, but an expansion on either side. It looks like no one too interested in early aggression. A wall has been built. Adepts work their way across. But the Stargate tech is selected. Siege tanks +1. You gotta throw a turret up. You gotta get your turret ring going. He's going to protect all of this part of the main with these turrets. And that's just inspiration. It's a pilot project. Okay, you never know when you're going to need more turrets. And in fact, the turret placement, almost impeccable, almost perfect. But the Void Ray somehow slips by the solid defenses. More siege tanks on the way. We have a grand total of 2 SCVs lost thus far. The action heats up. Plenty of zealots. Warp Prism. Twilight Council taking a third base is just fucking blasphemy. Not a shame. Building up. The turret ring continues to encompass the base of Shadow. Kobra coils for a strike. And oh my god, he's taken a third. +1. Psionic Storm. Charge. A Zealot drop. An Adept. But the turret ring is all-encompassing. The Warp Prism gone down with all hands. Shadow at 163 supply. The Void Ray barely slips over. But there is Psionic Storm. The tanks encircle the factory.
Subscription confirmed.
He may have blocked other tanks from ever leaving the factory.
Here's to seeing more Winter Rust next year.
Thank you. 133 to 194 supply, but honestly, without the tanks, Kobra has a very strong force. Archons, charge lots. Templar with plenty of storm to bring the hammer down. Warp Prism moves a little closer. He's ready to strike, but he's striking into the strongest part of the Terran base with all those tanks, but the storms! The storms all throughout the front! But can he push through all the way to the siege tanks? No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Unfortunately, the indecision costing him most of his army. But there's still Templar with full energy. He warps in 10 more Templar. Flicking the lights on and off. But he sees the army, and oh my... Oh! Ah! Oh! Storm! It's... Ah! Well, that was not nearly as much damage as I thought it. Kobra loses his entire army. Shadow with the classic stim into the dozen High Templar and come out alive tactic. So pretty much a miracle. But Shadow striking towards Kobra. The medevacs overworked, underpaid. The warp-in starts off slow, but ramps up very quickly as more +2, +1 shields charge.
Yes. Just as I deserve.
Could you give me tips for TVZ?
Switch to Protoss. Okay. 61 versus 75 actions per minute. That's over 1 per second. But after that first engage, scans across the board. If only there was some easier way to get vision on the other. Was that the first time? I'm actually going to go back. This is the first time since the very beginning of the game an SCV scouted that he had vision of the other side of the map. What he sees Kobra's army. More Templar being warped in. And of course, the switch to 2 Stargates and a fleet beacon. That'll be 3 total. Shadow putting together an attack. Blast through the rocks like they're not even there. A mothership is on the way. A maxed out army. 152 supply to 133. What could happen? What could stop this deathly Terran force that's tearing through the front? Is there any chance of him breaking through? A mothership is on the way. The tank's on siege. Another round of charge lots is warped in. But he will re-siege. The mothership is on the way, but it's a long way out. Shadow still near 200 supply. 3,500 minerals, 1,900 gas in the bank. Another unsiege. A little closer. This one will hit hard. Ah, the Templar being blasted away. Returned back to the Kala or whatever they do. Three carriers, though. 2 carriers and a Tempest. An interesting hodgepodge of units. But the tank's on siege again. Wait, what? He recalls his probes to his gold base. Oh, a stroke of genius. And a stroke of loss of blood flow to the brain as well from both sides. But Shadow retreats. As the pylons are depowered, leaving the tanks exposed, but there's nothing to punish him. The mothership! Where are you going? Right there. Okay. Right to the... The probes have escaped. The refugees. The mothership dodges the scan. Very agile moves. Shadow is nearly overwhelming Kobra's base. The tank's actually from a wall. He takes down the rock tower. He takes down the rocks themselves. Working his way down Shadow, just within striking distance. In a few seconds, he'll have a tactical recall. A mass recall. A strategic recall, actually, is what it's called. He could cloak the base! He could cloak it! No! He loses the cloaking field. A scan. He gets vision. Kobra trying to rebuild, but Shadow seems to have an iron grip on this match. Besides any probes. But the carrier is building up. Everybody knows carriers win games. There's literally no counter, as many Terran players know. The bio, he's nearly maxed out. He just has to bring the hammer down. The probe count, 29. The income, not very high here for Kobra. He's building, he doesn't have income to replace interceptor. Scans across the board. He scans the base. The tank's on siege! And he moves forward! Wait, where did the mothership go? Where are the Protoss? Oh, he recalled everything to the top base!
Automatically relaying, thanks.
It all started with a gift. How did it end up to this?
He's bringing the mothership to the other side! We're going to a base trade! As Shadow works his way, there are no units at home at all. Only turrets. None at all, as every single unit is struggling to make it up this ramp. Kobra. The army supply is 92 to 148. There are 3 High Templar with full energy. Kobra waits. Biding his time. Wait, what? He recalled... What did he just recall out? Like, one more... He just used strategic recall to bring one more Tempest to the mothership. I mean, get everyone out of there. He's breaking through the base. What does Shadow do? Shadow has to kill all the buildings. That's it. There are only so many Protoss buildings on the map. He still has enough energy for one more strategic recall. The orbitals are falling. The amount of buildings that can fly are falling. And of course, Tempest and carriers can shoot the air, and not, let alone the mothership. But Shadow's on the other side of the map, and Kobra's striking towards his base. He's still at 193 supply. There are probes. Kobra seems to understand the situation a little better, but of course he has a tiny army. Tanks head north. The Zealots are splitting off. The main base is being gutted. There are only so many buildings left that can actually lift off. Scans across the board. He's looking. Another base will be built. Did he catch the probes on the edge? I seriously doubt it. Depots are being taken out. There's only 2 more buildings. 27 SCVs. Are there SCVs with this army? There are no SCVs on the map. Shadow could potentially grasp defeat from the jaws of victory. But the 2 probes have rebuilt a base in the bottom right corner. Shadow will never be able to rebuild his units. Everything's coming back. 3 carriers, I have no idea what they're doing out there. 2 more probes. It's 4 probes against 27 SCVs, but that count can drop quick. The bottom right corner, but he only has 2 more buildings. He needs buildings. He has 11,000 minerals. He has 12,000 minerals. He has 12,000. He only has 1 base left. But Shadow comes back. If he kills that, it's over. He lifts his final command center. He has 12,000 minerals. That's the last building. He only has 5 SCVs, and he's gonna be supply blocked for till the end of time. He's long distance mining. Both players go back to their corners. Shadow's corner being the middle of the base. He's got a lot of depots to build. Kobra not gonna push his luck.
Resubscription confirmed. Automatically relaying thanks.
We're gonna start from the beginning. 1 command center, 1 nexus, a handful of workers. The Marines look like they might find it. The Templar still all intact underneath there. Shadow given some time to rebuild. Where is he headed? He's building command centers on the map. 1 Marine comes up. He only has 4 probes! He's coming back to deal with 1 Marine! He's coming back, but it kills 1 too! He's supply blocked. If he loses that last probe, he can't build more pylons! Oh! 1 probe left! He doesn't have the money for more pylons anyways! 3 probe kills on the Hero Marine! The army, oh god, it's happening. The Raven's gone. Oh, he has no orbitals, he can't, oh, the storm! Hit everything! Is there anything left to kill the mothership? No, there's no anti-air left. He can go for the buildings. It's a base trade. He could cloak it. He's not moving the mothership back in time. He has no more anti-air. He's gotta kill. He can kill the probes. It's a disaster. The storm. Oh, the storms which did not connect earlier. Shadow has lost everything. And he will now float his buildings around the map. But he does have a barracks. There are only, I mean, there's a dream. Shadow can rebuild Marines. Kobra on the chase. And Orbital is rebuilding as well. Kobra splitting his units. I mean, there's still a dream. He's rebuilding. He doesn't really need more depots, but I guess, like, it can't hurt. But he's scouring. He's scouring. The mothership's scouring as well. Rebuilding more barracks. The carriers are split off. He finds the base. How many? There are only 6 SCVs left on the map. How many will escape? 2 of them will escape. The mothership on the way. Marines are building. Marines are building. He's escaped with a couple SCVs. He's rebuilding another barracks. Will he find? Will he find? Oh, the Marines. The Marines. No, the Marines are fighting! He rebuilds. I mean, why not? He rebuilds a command center. The units split off. There's still enough. He has no supply because he has no command centers. There's still a dream. He's mining with 1 probe. Kobra has 1 probe to mine with. There's still a dream. The units are spread out, but he's not checking this base. He says, I definitely have the time to go for a reactor. Everything gets pulled back. The select all army hotkey is used. Shadow is rebuilding out with his once and future gold. He's heading directly there. Will he find it? Let's go to the Kobra cam. Oh, he spots it! Oh no. But he's building another barracks! He has retaken Kobra's main! He recalls the Tempest back here. Time has been bought. He builds another reactor. He needs to stop with the goddamn reactors. But precious time. Precious time. Precious time. He had so much money in the bank. He's starting to get the hang of it. He's realizing how he's got to play this like a rat in a cage.
Resubscription confirmed. Automatically relaying.
He's got to
thanks.
stop with the reactors though. Like, oh my god. At this point, this one probe has almost mined itself out of the supply block. Almost. Oh, he's got enough Marines. He's got enough Marines now. And there, how many interceptors? There's only 24 interceptors. And he's got a scan. Shadow? Shadow? He's retaken his opponent's main base. Another command center finishes. That should draw the forces towards here. It does. Shadow? He never expected him to rebuild in his old main. Devoid of minerals. But he didn't know how deep his bank account was. Another command center falls. But the supplies are almost even. But there's this one Templar. It already has 24 kills. The other Templars merged into an Archon that has 29. But Shadow is ahead on supply. The one place Kobra never thought to scout was what was once his own main. A Raven on the way. Shadow is out of money. His bank is exhausted. This is it. He's bought himself the last 15 minutes or so. Kobra. He's got 2 probes mining now. That's still 3 Tempest, 3 carriers, an Archon, a mothership, and most importantly, 1 High Templar. 1 High Templar. He's not scouting. He's just literally... he doesn't think it's possible. Why would anyone be there? There's no money there. It's mined out. He looked at the minerals. Oh, he finds the key. He kills the interceptors. So many Marines! The carrier's gone! All the units are coming back together, but Shadow emerges from the fog of war, and Kobra wasn't realizing. He cloaked himself. More interceptors coming up. He stims everybody. Where's the Templar? It's all up to the Templar. Oh my god. Oh, it's all up to that one Templar. He recalls his carrier. I don't know if that was even faster. But he can recall all his units to his base as well. This one Templar has to kill every Marine. And he can. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, he recalled, but he forgot the Templar! No! He kills the Templar was left behind! Oh, and Shadow! Forced underground! He scans! GG! And Shadow wins the game!